Title: Shielded by Light, Protecting Yourself from Spiritual Warfare. Author: C. Jones. Chapter 1. Understanding the Battle. Spiritual warfare is not something you see with your eyes, but something you feel deep within your soul. It's the invisible battle that wages around and within us, a conflict between light and darkness, truth and deception, peace and chaos. At some point in your life, you've felt it. Maybe you were overwhelmed with sudden anxiety out of nowhere. Maybe you were doing well, staying focused, feeling balanced, and then, without warning, your energy was drained, your peace disturbed, and your mind clouded. These are not always random occurrences. They can be spiritual attacks, deliberate attempts to knock you off your path, weaken your spirit, and separate you from your purpose. But here's the good news: you are not defenseless. To protect yourself, the first step is to understand what you're dealing with. Spiritual warfare isn't about superstition or fear, it's about awareness. When you know what the enemy looks like, you can recognize the attack and respond with power, not panic. What is spiritual warfare? Spiritual warfare is the ongoing conflict between forces of light and forces of darkness. These forces can manifest through energy, emotions, thoughts, people, and environments. It's not always dramatic or terrifying. Sometimes it's subtle, like negative self-talk, sudden emotional heaviness, or a toxic relationship that slowly chips away at your self-worth. It shows up when you try to grow, to heal, to elevate, and suddenly everything seems to come against you. That resistance you feel is often a sign that you're doing something right. Darkness doesn't waste its time on people who aren't a threat. Types of spiritual attacks. There are many ways this invisible war touches your life. Here are a few to look out for. Emotional attacks. Sudden waves of sadness, fear, anger, or hopelessness that seem to come from nowhere. Mental attacks. Confusion, obsessive thoughts, self-doubt, and destructive thinking patterns. Physical attacks. Unexplained fatigue, sleep disturbances, or illness that aligns with emotional or spiritual events. Environmental attacks. Toxic energy in your home or workplace, strange synchronicities, or constant chaos around you. Understanding the nature of these attacks doesn't make you paranoid, it makes you prepared. Recognizing the signs. Spiritual warfare thrives in darkness, meaning it depends on your lack of awareness. But when you learn to identify its fingerprints, you begin to reclaim your power. Ask yourself, do I feel drained after interacting with certain people or going to specific places? Am I struggling with recurring negative patterns no matter how much I try to change? Have I experienced moments where I feel spiritually disconnected or lost? If the answer is yes, you may be experiencing spiritual warfare. But again, this is not something to fear. It's something to face. Why it happens. You're under attack because you matter, because your light is valuable, because your purpose carries weight. The more you grow spiritually, the more the forces of darkness seek to distract, discourage, and derail you. But the truth is, they only have as much power as you give them. Awareness, alignment, and action are your keys to victory. In the chapters that follow, we'll go deeper into how to defend your mind, protect your energy, and rise in spiritual strength. But for now, remember this. You were not born to live in fear. You were born to walk in light. Chapter 2. Knowing your enemy. To win any battle, you must know what you're up against. In spiritual warfare, the enemy doesn't always come with horns or fire. Sometimes it shows up as doubt in your mind, drama in your relationships, or distractions disguised as opportunities. It's subtle, clever, and persistent. The most dangerous enemy is the one you don't recognize. So let's bring it into the light, the forces that work against you. When we talk about the enemy in spiritual warfare, we're not always talking about a specific person or being. The enemy is anything that works against your peace, your clarity, your growth, and your divine purpose. It could be a destructive habit you can't seem to break, a toxic mindset that keeps you small, an outside influence whispering lies into your spirit, a heavy energy that follows you, trying to wear you down. These enemies don't come to challenge your strength, they come to make you forget you have any. The tactics of darkness. Spiritual warfare isn't always obvious. In fact, one of its most effective tactics is making you believe it doesn't exist. The enemy uses 4 major strategies: confusion, temptation, fear, and deception. First, confusion. Confusion is a fog that clouds your judgment. When you're unsure, scattered, or second-guessing everything, it becomes easier for you to make the wrong choices or stay stuck in place. Second, temptation. Temptation isn't just about obvious sins or indulgences, it's anything that pulls you out of alignment with your higher self. It's the shortcut that looks easier, the relationship that feels good but drains you, or the opportunity that feeds your ego but robs your peace. 3. Fear. Fear is a liar dressed as caution. It paralyzes you. It convinces you that you're not ready, not good enough, or not strong enough. When fear takes root, you start shrinking your dreams and staying in situations that no longer serve you. 4. Deception. Deception is the most dangerous tactic. It can come through false teachings, manipulative people, or even the inner voice that tells you to give up. It distorts truth just enough to make it believable. And that's how it gains power. The importance of discernment. Discernment is your spiritual filter. It's your ability to sense what's real, what's right, and what's divine. Without discernment, you'll be pulled in every direction. But with it, you'll see through illusions and stay aligned with the truth. You develop discernment by spending time in stillness and reflection, listening to your inner wisdom, staying connected to the divine through prayer or meditation, being honest with yourself, especially about what's feeding your spirit. Not every battle is yours to fight. One of the most powerful truths in spiritual warfare is this: not everything deserves your energy. Some attacks are distractions meant to drag you into battles that aren't even yours. Learn to pause and ask, is this trying to pull me down, or is this pushing me to rise? Some situations require action, others require silence. True spiritual warriors know when to engage and when to let go. You're not alone. Spiritual warfare may feel isolating, but you're never alone. There are forces of light constantly surrounding you, guiding you, protecting you. Your ancestors, angels, spirit guides, and the divine are all standing with you, especially when you choose to stand in truth. Remember, the enemy works in darkness, so the more you step into your light, the weaker its grip becomes. You can't fight what you can't see. But once you know the tactics, you can disarm them. And once you know your power, nothing can stand against you. Chapter 3. Strengthening your spirit. In a world full of spiritual noise, your strength doesn't come from how much you know. It comes from how connected you are. Your spirit is your core, your compass, and your shield. When your spirit is strong, you move through life with clarity, power, and peace. But when it's weak or neglected, you become vulnerable to the chaos around you. Strengthening your spirit is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Your spirit is the foundation. Think of your spirit like a house. If the foundation is cracked, everything built on top becomes unstable. The same goes for your inner life. No matter how successful, confident, or outwardly together you appear, if your spirit is neglected, everything else will eventually crumble. A strong spirit gives you the resilience to face attacks, recover from setbacks, and walk through darkness without losing your light. So how do you build that kind of strength? 3 pillars of spiritual strength. There are many paths to spiritual empowerment, but most of them rest on these 3 foundational practices: prayer, meditation, and study. 1. Prayer, connection to Source. Prayer is the language of the soul. It doesn't have to be formal or scripted. It's a conversation, a direct line between you and the divine. Whether you speak aloud, write, or think silently, prayer centers your heart and opens your spirit to guidance, healing, and protection. Use prayer to ask for strength, clear confusion, align with your higher self, invite divine protection. 2. Meditation, listening beyond the noise. If prayer is speaking to the divine, meditation is listening. It's in stillness that you tune out the chaos of the world and tune into the frequency of your soul. It's where you receive answers, inspiration, and divine downloads. Even just 10 minutes of silence each day can calm your spirit and realign your energy. 3. Study, feeding the spirit. A weak spirit is often a hungry spirit. Feed it. Study sacred texts, spiritual teachings, or empowering affirmations that speak life into you. Fill your mind with truth, so there's no room for lies to take root. Create a daily spiritual routine. Just like the body needs regular movement and nourishment, your spirit needs consistent care. Here's a simple daily framework you can use. Morning. Start with gratitude, a short prayer or an empowering affirmation. Midday. Pause, breathe, and realign. Say something like, I walk in peace, I am protected. Evening. Reflect on your day. Release what doesn't serve you. Speak forgiveness, then close with gratitude and light. It doesn't have to be long, it just has to be real. The power of faith, truth, and clarity. A strong spirit walks in faith even when the future is uncertain. It stands in truth even when lies are loud. And it moves with clarity even when the world is trying to create confusion. These three, faith, truth, and clarity, are your spiritual armor. They protect your mind from fear, your heart from deception, and your path from distraction. Faith is not blind. It sees beyond what's visible and trusts in what's real. Truth is not always easy, but it sets you free. Clarity is your weapon against manipulation. When you know who you are, you can't be controlled. When you strengthen your spirit, you transform your life. You begin to notice what drains you and detach from it. You begin to recognize what feeds you and lean into it. You become less reactive, more grounded, more intentional. You stop surviving and start walking in spiritual authority. The goal is not to become perfect. The goal is to become powerful in your spirit. And that begins with choosing every day to return to your source. The stronger your spirit, the harder it is for darkness to gain access. And once your spirit is truly strong, everything changes. Chapter 4. Guarding your mind. Your mind is sacred ground. It's where battles are won or lost before anything even happens in the physical world. Every thought is a seed, and what you allow to grow there shapes your reality, your energy, and your destiny. In spiritual warfare, your mind is the first target, because if the enemy can control how you think, it can control how you live. Guarding your mind is not about fear or paranoia. It's about awareness and intention. When you become the gatekeeper of your thoughts, you stop being a victim and start walking as a conscious creator. The mind is a battlefield. The most dangerous attacks aren't always external, they're internal. They sound like, you're not good enough. You're always going to fail. What's the point in trying? No one really cares about you. These thoughts may feel like your own voice, but many times they're not. They're planted through trauma, repetition, negative influences, or spiritual interference. And once those seeds take root, they start to grow into self-doubt, shame, anxiety, and fear. But here's the truth. You don't have to believe every thought you think. Becoming the gatekeeper. Imagine your mind as a sacred temple. You wouldn't let just anyone walk in and throw trash on the floor. So why allow toxic thoughts to wander freely in your head? To guard your mind. 1. Become conscious of your inner dialogue. Start noticing what you're telling yourself daily. Are your thoughts empowering or weakening? 2. Challenge every lie. If it doesn't align with love, truth, or your higher self, it doesn't belong. 3. Replace the poison with truth. Counter every lie with an affirmation or spiritual truth. I am enough. I am protected. I walk in divine purpose. Your inner world responds to repetition. Say it until you feel it. Say it until the false beliefs start to break down. Mental discipline is spiritual strength. You don't need to control every thought, but you do need to lead them. It's easy to let your mind wander into negativity, comparison, or fear. But a disciplined mind is a free mind. It's a mind that's hard to manipulate, hard to confuse, and hard to break. Simple practices to build mental discipline. Mindful breathing. Take a moment each day to just breathe. Inhale peace, exhale fear. Journaling. Write down what you're thinking and feeling. Get it out, see it clearly. Mental fasting. Take breaks from things that pollute your mind. Social media, toxic people, or mindless content. What you feed your mind either weakens your spirit or strengthens it. Watch the doorways. There are many doorways into the mind. What you see, what you hear, what you speak, what you allow. Guard them. What are you watching? Does it inspire you or drain you? Who are you listening to? Are they pouring truth into you or projecting fear? What are you saying? Your words are spells. Speak life. If you wouldn't let a stranger dump trash into your living room, don't let the world dump garbage into your consciousness. Mental attacks aren't always obvious. Sometimes the enemy doesn't scream. It whispers. You're behind. You'll never catch up. Something's wrong with you. That's how spiritual warfare works. It plants ideas, then lets you water them. But the moment you say, no, that's not my truth, you break the cycle. Your thoughts are a weapon. You can either use your thoughts to tear yourself down, or use them to lift yourself up, protect your peace, and align with the divine. Your thoughts shape your energy. Your energy shapes your reality. And when your mind is guarded, focused, and filled with light, spiritual attacks lose their power. A guarded mind is a powerful mind, and a powerful mind becomes a fortress of peace, truth, and spiritual victory. Chapter 5. Protecting your energy. Your energy is sacred. It's the vibration you carry, the atmosphere you bring into a room, and the force behind your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. In the realm of spiritual warfare, your energy is one of your most valuable assets and one of the first things targeted. Because when your energy is off, everything is off. That's why learning to protect your energy isn't just a spiritual practice, it's a survival skill. What is spiritual energy? Spiritual energy is your life force, what some call chi, prana, or simply vibes. It flows through you and around you, connecting your mind, body, and spirit. When it's high, you feel inspired, centered, and clear. When it's low, you feel drained, foggy, or disconnected. Many spiritual attacks aren't about possession or dramatic interference. They're about exhaustion. If the enemy can wear you down energetically, it doesn't need to do anything else. How energy gets drained. Your energy is constantly interacting with people, places, and things. If you're not careful, it can get pulled, leaked, or even stolen. Here are common ways your energy gets compromised. Negative people, constant complainers, gossipers, or those who emotionally dump on you without consent. Toxic environments, chaotic, loud, or spiritually heavy places can affect your mood and vibration. Unhealed trauma. Old wounds create energetic openings that allow fear, insecurity, or shame to seep in. Overgiving. You can't save everyone. Pouring from an empty cup leaves you depleted. Spiritual attachments. Some entities cling to your energy, especially during moments of vulnerability or emotional distress. The importance of spiritual boundaries. Just like you lock your doors at night, you need to secure your spiritual space. Spiritual boundaries sound like, I'm not available for this energy right now. I need time to recharge. That conversation doesn't align with where I'm going. You don't owe anyone access to your peace. Boundaries aren't about being cold, they're about being conscious. Cleansing and recharging your energy. When your energy feels heavy or scattered, it's time for a reset. Here are powerful ways to cleanse and protect your spiritual field. 1. Salt baths or showers. Salt clears negative energy. Add sea salt to your bath or visualize negativity washing down the drain as you shower. 2. Smudging or incense. Burn sage, palo santo, or incense to clear the energy in your space and around your body. 3. Visualization. Imagine a white or golden light surrounding you, shielding you from negativity and sealing any energetic holes. 4. Grounding. Walk barefoot on grass, soil, or sand. Let the earth pull out the tension and refill you with calm. 5. Breathwork and meditation. Breathe deeply. Let go. Invite divine light back in. Energy shielding technique. Here's a simple practice you can do anytime. 1. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. 2. Visualize a bright glowing light surrounding your body. 3. Say out loud or silently, I am protected. No harm may enter, only love, truth, and light may pass. 4. Sit with that light for a moment. Let it become your spiritual armor. Do this daily, especially before sleep, after emotional conversations, or when entering unfamiliar spaces. Be careful who you connect with. Energy is transferred through conversation, touch, even eye contact. Some people leave you feeling uplifted. Others leave you feeling like you've just been drained dry. It's okay to love people from a distance. Protecting your energy means being selective, not in judgment, but in wisdom. Ask yourself, does this person honor my light? Do I feel nourished or emptied after spending time with them? Honor the answer. Protecting your energy is a lifestyle. You can't wait until you're burnt out to care for your energy. Make it a daily practice. Protect your mornings. Guard your nights. Take time alone to refuel. Speak affirmations of power and protection. Stay grounded in what's real and let go of what's not. When your energy is protected, you think clearer, feel stronger, and hear divine guidance more easily. You move with confidence, walk in alignment, and radiate a light that darkness can't touch. Chapter 6. Spiritual Tools and Armor. Every warrior needs armor, every traveler needs tools. And in the battle of spiritual warfare, you need both. You don't fight spiritual battles with physical weapons. You fight with wisdom, energy, intention, and divine connection. But here's the truth. You're not defenseless. You were never meant to walk through this world unprotected. You have tools. You have shields. You have divine weapons forged in light. This chapter is about learning what they are and how to use them. The full armor of the Spirit. There's a well-known passage in ancient scripture that describes the armor of God. Whether or not you follow religion, the message is powerful. The armor includes the belt of truth, knowing and standing in your truth. The breastplate of righteousness, living with integrity and guarding your heart. The shoes of peace, walking in calmness and direction no matter where you go. The shield of faith, using belief to block negativity and attacks. The helmet of salvation, protecting your mind with higher wisdom. The sword of the Spirit, using divine words and truth as your weapon. This armor isn't physical, it's energetic. It's a way of being. And when you walk in it, you become harder to manipulate, harder to drain, and harder to break. Crystals and natural tools. The earth provides tools too, if you know how to use them. Crystals are powerful energy amplifiers and protectors. Black tourmaline wards off negative energy and psychic attacks. Amethyst strengthens intuition and spiritual awareness. Clear quartz amplifies intention and purifies energy. Selenite cleanses your aura and clears spaces. Obsidian grounds and protects your energy field. You don't need a huge collection. 1 or 2 with intention are more powerful than 10 with none. Tip: cleanse your crystals regularly in sunlight, moonlight, or with sage. Spiritual tools and symbols. You can also use symbolic items to empower your energy. Anointing oils. Use oils like frankincense, myrrh, or lavender on your body or around your space to bless and protect. Candles. Light them with intention for clarity, protection, or strength. Fire carries energy and seals prayers. Sigils or symbols. Create a simple sign, cross, or rune to represent protection. Draw it, wear it, or visualize it around your body. Sacred objects. Items like feathers, coins, or heirlooms that carry spiritual meaning can be powerful tools when blessed with intention. Your voice is a weapon. Never forget, your words carry power. Speak protection over yourself daily. Declare your space off limits to negative energy. Use affirmations, scriptures, or mantras to set the spiritual tone. Say things like, I am divinely protected at all times. Only love and truth may enter my space. I reject and release all energies that do not serve my highest good. Words are not just sounds, they are frequencies, and frequency creates reality. Sacred space, your personal sanctuary. One of the most underrated spiritual tools is your environment. Design a corner, room, or altar where your spirit can rest. Fill it with things that uplift your soul: plants, incense, candles, books, or art. It becomes your energetic safe zone, a place you can return to even when the world feels chaotic. This is your recharge station, your temple, your home within your home. Don't idolize the tools, empower them. The power doesn't come from the tool, it comes through it, activated by your intention and belief. A crystal with no purpose is just a rock. A candle with no focus is just a flame. But when you align your spirit with the tool, when you set intention and claim your authority, it becomes a weapon of light. Use what resonates. Not every tool is for everyone. Some people are drawn to oils, others prefer crystals. Some feel most empowered in prayer, while others use energy work or sound healing. What matters is that you find what resonates with your soul and use it consistently. You're not walking blind. You have tools, you have armor, you have authority. And once you know how to use them, you become a spiritual force that darkness can't ignore. Chapter 7. Recognizing Spiritual Attacks. You can't fight what you don't recognize. And in spiritual warfare, the most dangerous attacks are the ones that go unnoticed. They don't always show up as demons or shadows. They can come in the form of depression, confusion, sudden fatigue, anxiety that makes no sense, relationship breakdowns that happen out of nowhere, dreams that leave you feeling heavy for days. Spiritual attacks are real, and if you're on a path of growth, light, or leadership, you will be targeted. But here's the power. When you can recognize the signs, you take back control. What is a spiritual attack? A spiritual attack is any intentional or unintentional interference in your energy, mindset, or environment designed to disconnect you from your purpose, peace, and divine power. It could be energetic, draining your vibration; mental, clouding your clarity; emotional, triggering old wounds; physical, affecting your health or surroundings; relational, causing conflict or isolation. These attacks don't always happen through other people. Sometimes they come from unseen forces, lower vibrations, or unresolved trauma that gets manipulated. Common signs of a spiritual attack. 1. Sudden emotional chaos. You feel overwhelmed, irritable, or deeply sad without a clear reason. Mood swings hit hard. Peace disappears. You feel like you're drowning emotionally. 2. Confusion and mental fog. You can't focus. Decision-making becomes difficult. You question everything, even your purpose, your worth, and your progress. 3. Intense fatigue. Your body feels heavy. No matter how much you rest, you still feel drained. It's like something is sitting on your spirit. 4. Recurring nightmares or disturbing dreams. You dream of being chased, trapped, attacked, or surrounded by darkness. You wake up tired or anxious. 5. Conflict in relationships. Arguments break out for no reason. Misunderstandings appear from nowhere. People turn cold. You feel isolated. 6. Financial or situational setbacks. Sudden losses. Blocked opportunities. It feels like you're moving backward even though you're doing everything right. 7. Obsessive negative thoughts. Dark thoughts play on repeat. You feel unworthy, unloved, or hopeless. Fear grips you even in calm moments. Why do attacks happen? Spiritual attacks are often confirmation, not punishment. They show up when you're about to level up, when you're stepping into your purpose, when you've started healing or breaking generational cycles, when your light gets too bright for the shadows that once fed off you. Darkness doesn't waste energy. If you're under attack, it means you're carrying something powerful. How to respond when under attack. 1. Don't panic. Get grounded. Fear is fuel for the attack. Stay calm, breathe. Know that you are not alone and this will pass. 2. Clear your energy. Take a salt bath, sage your space, pray aloud, or meditate with light. Say, I cleanse myself of all energy that is not mine. I return to center. I return to truth. 3. Speak protection and power. Use your voice. Declare your authority. Say, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I cancel all spiritual interference, seen and unseen. I walk in divine light and divine favor. 4. Reconnect with Source. Pray, meditate, journal, read sacred texts. Return to the voice of truth within you. 5. Watch for patterns. Is this the third time in a row your energy crashed before a breakthrough? Are you always attacked right after helping someone? Recognize the pattern. Once you see it, you can block it. Who or what is sending the attack? Sometimes it's not personal, it's energetic. A person with jealousy or resentment might be sending you energy without even knowing it. A spiritual parasite could be feeding off your stress, waiting for you to drop your guard. A past wound might be resurfacing to be healed, and dark energy latches onto it. The who matters less than the response. Stay spiritually aware, not spiritually paranoid. Not every bad mood is a spiritual attack. Sometimes it's just life. Sometimes it's your body asking for rest. Use discernment. Check in with your intuition. Don't overthink, but don't ignore the signs either. Spiritual awareness is about noticing the shift, not obsessing over it. Attacks are proof of your light. The brighter the flame, the more it attracts the darkness. But here's the truth. Light always wins. Every single time. When you stand firm, stay connected, and guard your energy. What was meant to break you becomes the fuel for your next level. You were born with the authority to command peace, reclaim power, and walk untouched through the storm. Recognize the attack, respond with power, and rise stronger than before. Chapter 8. Reclaiming your power. There comes a moment in every spiritual journey when you have to stop playing defense and start taking your power back. Spiritual warfare isn't just about protecting yourself from attacks. It's about remembering who you are. It's about stepping out of survival mode and into divine authority. Because the truth is, you were never meant to live in fear. You were never meant to stay small, and you were never meant to forget the power already within you. You are not a victim. You may have been attacked. You may have been misled. You may have lost your way for a while. But you are not powerless. Spiritual warfare thrives in the minds of those who don't know who they are. That's why the first thing darkness tries to do is make you doubt your identity, your light, your mission, your worth. But when you remember, everything shifts. Power is your birthright. You were born with spiritual authority. You were born to speak with conviction, to create with intention, to move energy, and to walk in purpose. Reclaiming your power means standing firm in your truth, even when others don't understand it. Saying no without guilt. Saying yes to your healing, your growth, your light. Breaking patterns that have kept you small for too long. Choosing to believe in your worth, even when you feel broken. You don't need permission to rise. You just need a decision. Reclaiming power starts with ownership. To reclaim power, you have to stop blaming everything outside of you. Yes, spiritual warfare is real. Yes, some people have bad intentions. Yes, you may have been hurt or spiritually manipulated. But your healing is your responsibility now. This doesn't mean you deserve the pain. It means you deserve the power that comes from rising above it. You reclaim power. When you 1. Forgive yourself. Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's freedom. Let go of the shame, the guilt, the should have known better. You are learning. 2. Cleanse the narrative. Rewrite the story in your mind. You're not someone who was attacked. You're someone who survived and evolved. 3. Take back your energy. Visualize it. All the energy you've given away, through fear, trauma, or unhealthy connections, returning to you cleansed and renewed. Say, I call back my energy. I reclaim all of me. I stand in my power, whole and unshaken. 4. Speak with intention. Start declaring power over your life daily. I am a vessel of divine strength. I am safe, powerful, and protected. My light is unshakable. Words shape reality. Speak your truth into existence. Don't just defend, create. You weren't born just to block attacks. You were born to build something. A peaceful life, a healed lineage, a clear path for others to follow. A legacy that outshines the shadows you once battled. Step into your role as a creator, not just a protector. Watch the shift when you stand in power. When you reclaim your power, everything around you begins to change. Energetic parasites fall away. They can't feed on what's no longer available. Toxic patterns break. They lose grip when you stop playing the old script. Your intuition sharpens because power amplifies clarity. Miracles move faster because you're no longer blocking your flow with fear. Power attracts alignment, and alignment attracts divine protection. Remember who you are. You are not weak. You are not lost. You are not at the mercy of spiritual warfare. You are a child of light. You are a force in human form. You are the storm the darkness hoped would never wake up. Your power was never gone. It was just waiting on your permission to rise. Chapter 9. Discerning spiritual manipulation. Not every spiritual voice is from the divine. Not every healer is here to help. Not every teaching leads you toward the light. In this age of awakening, spirituality has become more popular than ever. But with that popularity comes distortion and manipulation. Spiritual manipulation is one of the most dangerous forms of warfare because it doesn't come in obvious darkness. It comes cloaked in light. It speaks with conviction. It pretends to guide but secretly controls. To stay protected, you must develop discernment, the ability to sense what's real, what's fake, and what's out to control your soul. What is spiritual manipulation? Spiritual manipulation is when someone uses spirituality, scripture, divine language, or sacred authority to control, deceive, or shame others. It can happen in churches, in spiritual communities, in relationships, on social media, even in your own thoughts if you've internalized false beliefs. The goal is always the same: control. Control your actions, your energy, your beliefs, or your submission. Red flags of spiritual manipulation. 1. Fear-based teachings. If you don't do this, bad things will happen. If you question this, you're being rebellious or evil. Any teaching that relies on fear instead of freedom is manipulation. 2. Guilt and shame as tools. You're not enlightened enough. You're too low vibrational to understand. You're not spiritual if you feel angry, doubtful, or confused. Guilt is not a spiritual guide, it's a trap. 3. Unquestioned authority. If someone demands loyalty or obedience without room for discussion, they are not a teacher. They are a controller. 4. Suppression of your intuition. If you're being taught to ignore your gut feeling because they know better, it's a problem. Real guidance empowers your intuition. It doesn't silence it. 5. Energy that feels off. Words may sound sweet, but your spirit feels tight, anxious, or confused. That's your discernment trying to protect you. The subtle side of manipulation. Some spiritual manipulation isn't loud, it's subtle. A partner who uses love and light to ignore accountability. A mentor who gaslights your boundaries under the guise of ego death. A community that teaches unconditional positivity but punishes you for your pain. These subtle forms can be even more dangerous because they slowly condition you to doubt yourself. The role of discernment. Discernment is your spiritual immune system. It filters what comes into your soul. You don't need to be suspicious of everyone, but you do need to be aware. Ask yourself, does this teaching align with love, truth, and freedom? Is this person lifting me up or trying to control me? Does this practice bring peace to my spirit or confusion to my heart? If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. How to break free from spiritual manipulation. 1. Trust your spirit again. Even if you've been deceived in the past, your intuition is still alive. Rebuild the connection. 2. Reclaim your inner authority. You don't need someone else to grant you access to the divine. You already have it. Speak it. I reclaim my spiritual sovereignty. 3. Exit the environment. If the space is manipulative, controlling, or draining, leave. You don't owe loyalty to a toxic system. 4. Deprogram and relearn. Take time to unlearn the lies. Study sacred texts with fresh eyes. Learn from sources that empower rather than dominate. 5. Set spiritual boundaries. You are allowed to say no to teachings, teachers, or systems that don't align with your truth. True spirituality liberates. Real spiritual guidance respects your autonomy, encourages your growth, allows space for questioning, helps you access your own connection to Source. If it tries to enslave you, shame you, or silence your spirit, it is not from the light. You don't need to be afraid of spirituality. You just need to learn how to protect your path within it. And once you do, your connection becomes unshakable. Chapter 10. How to build a daily spiritual practice. Spiritual warfare isn't something that happens only in moments of crisis. It's a daily reality. And the best way to protect yourself is to build a spiritual practice that strengthens you consistently, day by day. Your spiritual practice is like the foundation of a house. Without a solid base, the structure can crumble under pressure. But when you build your practice with intention, it becomes the armor that shields you from the storms. In this chapter, we'll explore how to create a daily spiritual routine that protects you, elevates you, and helps you stand strong in the midst of any battle. Why daily practice matters. Your spirit needs daily nourishment, just like your body needs food and your mind needs rest. Spiritual warfare thrives on disconnection. The more disconnected you are from your divine source, the easier it is to be influenced, manipulated, or distracted. A daily practice keeps you grounded in your truth. It helps you stay centered and calm in the midst of chaos. Reconnect with your higher self. Set your intentions for the day with clarity and purpose. Fortify your spiritual armor. Maintain high vibrational energy even when negativity is all around you. The key components of a daily spiritual practice. A spiritual practice doesn't need to be complicated or time-consuming. The most important element is consistency. Here are the key components you can incorporate into your routine. 1. Morning meditation or prayer. Start your day by connecting with Source. This can be through prayer, meditation, or simply a moment of gratitude. Why it matters. It centers your energy and sets the tone for the rest of the day. How to do it. Sit in silence for 5 to 10 minutes. Close your eyes, focus on your breath, and feel the presence of divine energy. If you pray, ask for guidance and protection for the day ahead. 2. Affirmations and intentions. Declare your spiritual power and set positive intentions for the day. Why it matters. Affirmations help reprogram your mind and align your energy with your highest good. How to do it. Stand tall, speak aloud, and say things like, I am divinely protected. I walk in light, peace, and power. I am connected to Source, and nothing can sway me from my purpose. 3. Gratitude practice. Take a moment each day to express gratitude for everything in your life, big and small. Why it matters. Gratitude shifts your vibration and invites more abundance into your life. How to do it. Write down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for in a journal, or simply reflect on them in your mind. Let this gratitude flood your heart. 4. Cleansing ritual. Energetic cleansing is a daily necessity to maintain a healthy aura. Why it matters. It removes negative energy, stagnant emotions, and spiritual clutter. How to do it. You can cleanse with sage, Palo Santo, or crystals. Walk around your space, waving the smoke or the crystal in all corners of the room while visualizing the energy being purified. If you're outdoors, simply breathe deeply and imagine any negative energy leaving your body. 5. Spiritual reading or study. Fill your mind with wisdom and truth every day. Why it matters. You need spiritual food to grow, just like you need food for your body. How to do it. Read sacred texts, philosophy, or other spiritual teachings that resonate with you. If you're on the go, listen to audiobooks, podcasts, or reels that elevate your spirit. 6. Journaling or reflection. At the end of the day, reflect on what happened, what you've learned, and how you felt. Why it matters. Journaling helps you process emotions and insights. It also strengthens your connection to your inner wisdom. How to do it. Before bed, take 10 minutes to reflect on the day. Write about any challenges you faced, the lessons you learned, and your victories, no matter how small. Creating a practice that works for you. There's no one-size-fits-all spiritual practice. The key is to find a routine that aligns with you and your needs. Experiment with different elements and don't be afraid to adjust your practice over time. Here are a few tips. Start small. If you're new to a spiritual routine, begin with just 10 to 15 minutes a day and gradually build. Make it a ritual. Create sacred space for your practice, whether that's lighting a candle, playing soft music, or saying a prayer before you begin. Stay consistent. Consistency is more important than perfection. Even if you miss a day, don't give up. Simply start again the next day. Building resilience through practice. When you commit to a daily practice, you're not just protecting yourself from spiritual warfare. You're building resilience. Over time, you'll notice you become more centered and calm, even in stressful situations. Your intuition becomes sharper, helping you avoid spiritual traps. You gain more clarity about your life's purpose and direction. Your energy stays high, making you less vulnerable to negative influences. Your connection to Source deepens, and you feel supported in all aspects of life. A spiritual practice is your armor. Think of your daily spiritual practice as your armor. Just as a knight wouldn't go into battle without their sword and shield, you shouldn't face the day without your spiritual tools. And remember, armor is only effective if you wear it consistently. Practice isn't something you do once and forget. It's something you weave into the fabric of your life. Your spiritual power is not a fleeting thing. It's a steady, ongoing force that grows stronger with each day of devotion. By building a daily practice, you protect yourself from the storms of life and prepare to rise above them with grace and power. Chapter 11. Protecting your energy in the digital age. In today's world, spiritual warfare isn't confined to physical spaces or personal interactions. It has expanded into the digital realm. The internet, social media, and technology are powerful tools, but they can also be conduits for negative energy, distractions, and manipulative forces. In this chapter, we'll explore how to protect your energy in the digital age, where information flows rapidly and can overwhelm your senses. We'll discuss how to establish boundaries online, navigate spiritual content with discernment, and stay grounded amidst the constant noise. The digital age, a double-edged sword. Technology is a blessing. It connects us, provides knowledge, and expands our reach. But it also opens us up to distractions, misinformation, and spiritual interference. Social media platforms, websites, and even news outlets can be breeding grounds for negative energy, manipulation, and fear-based narratives. Just as you protect your physical space, you must protect your digital space. Your energy is valuable, and the more you interact with the digital world, the more intentional you must be about how you engage. Recognizing spiritual pollution online. In the digital world, not everything you see or hear is aligned with your highest good. Here's how to recognize when your energy is being compromised. 1. Negative, fear-based content. Articles, posts, and videos that focus on fear, doom, or anxiety are energy draining. They keep you stuck in a low vibration and can make you feel anxious or helpless. Solution: stay away from content that heightens fear or anxiety. Follow accounts that promote peace, joy, and empowerment instead. Second, manipulative influences. There are many influencers and teachers online who present themselves as spiritual guides, but are really using your vulnerability to gain power, money, or control. Solution: be discerning. Always ask yourself, does this person or teaching inspire me to trust myself more, or does it make me doubt my intuition? 3. Overstimulation. The constant flow of information can leave you feeling drained, scattered, and unfocused. Overexposure to online content can also disconnect you from your own inner wisdom. Solution: set boundaries for your online consumption. Limit screen time, take breaks, and create a detox routine to clear your mind. Fourth, toxic online communities. Some online spaces or groups thrive on negativity, gossip, or judgment. These environments can be spiritually toxic, draining your energy and lowering your vibration. Solution: avoid groups that thrive on drama or divisiveness. Engage with communities that foster kindness, positivity, and mutual support. Establishing boundaries in the digital world. Just as you would create boundaries with people in the physical world, you must do the same in the digital world. Here are a few ways to protect your energy. 1. Limit your social media use. Social media can be a double-edged sword. It connects you to others, but it can also drain your energy if you're constantly scrolling through endless content. How to do it? Set specific times for checking social media, e.g., 30 minutes in the morning and evening. Use apps that help you monitor and limit your screen time. When you do engage, ensure it's with intention, rather than mindlessly scrolling. 2. Curate your digital environment. Be intentional about who you follow, what you watch, and what you consume online. How to do it? Follow accounts that align with your values and goals. Unfollow or mute accounts that consistently make you feel drained, anxious, or uninspired. Cleanse your social media feeds of negativity. 3. Practice digital detoxes. Periodically take breaks from the digital world to recharge your energy and reconnect with yourself. How to do it? Choose one day a week, or even just a few hours a day, where you disconnect entirely from digital devices. Use this time to meditate, read, walk in nature, or simply rest. This will help restore your energy and refocus your mind. 4. Protect your privacy. In a world where personal information is constantly shared online, protecting your privacy is an essential part of protecting your energy. How to do it? Avoid sharing sensitive personal details publicly and be mindful of the information you share in online interactions. Use privacy settings on social media platforms and ensure your data is protected. Staying grounded while navigating the online world. While it's important to protect your energy from negative digital influences, it's also essential to stay grounded and connected to your truth in the digital age. Here are a few ways to stay spiritually anchored. 1. Practice mindful consumption. Before you click, scroll, or engage, take a moment to check in with your body and spirit. Ask yourself, how does this make me feel? Does this align with my energy? How to do it? Before engaging with any digital content, take 3 deep breaths. Ask for guidance from your higher self. Is this helpful or harmful to my energy? Second, center yourself before and after digital engagement. Create a small ritual before and after interacting with the digital world. This can help you clear any accumulated energy and reset your vibration. How to do it? Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and set an intention for your digital interactions. Afterward, take a moment to clear any residual energy with a brief meditation or grounding exercise. 3. Engage in offline spiritual practices. Balance your online activity with offline spiritual practices that nourish your soul. Time spent in nature, journaling, or meditating helps you stay centered and connected to your inner wisdom. How to do it? Make time each day to engage in offline activities that fill you with peace and grounding. These can be simple practices like yoga, reading a spiritual book, or taking a mindful walk in nature. Finding balance in the digital world. The digital age is here to stay, but that doesn't mean you have to let it control your energy or your life. By staying conscious of the content you consume, setting boundaries, and taking time to detox, you can use technology as a tool for empowerment rather than a source of spiritual depletion. Remember, you can engage with the world online, but never let it define your worth or your connection to Source. Your energy is sacred. Guard it fiercely, and let the digital world be a place of connection, not distraction. Chapter 12. Standing in the Light, Embracing Your Divine Purpose. There is a reason you are here, a reason you were born in this moment, in this lifetime, with your unique gifts, challenges, and experiences. And that reason is bigger than surviving spiritual warfare. It's about stepping fully into the light and living with divine purpose. Throughout this journey, you've learned how to recognize darkness, protect your energy, and build your spiritual armor. But protection is only half the battle. Now you are being called to rise, not just to avoid harm, but to embody power. Not just to escape darkness, but to radiate light. Not just to be safe, but to become a vessel of truth, love, and divine intention. This is the chapter of becoming. Your divine purpose is your power. Your purpose isn't something outside of you. It's within you, woven into your soul before you. But above all, you've remembered the truth. You are not powerless. You are not defenseless. You are divinely equipped. When you choose to walk in alignment with truth, when you commit to daily spiritual maintenance, and when you protect your energy with intention, you are unstoppable. Spiritual warfare may never stop trying to test you. But now you have the tools. Now you know who you are. Now you can walk forward, not in fear, but in faith. Stay anchored, stay aware, and stay in the light. Because when you stand in your divine power, darkness doesn't stand a chance.